going to grow old and how do we, cope with technology and then all this bad things could happen and just like basic things. Don't trust this, don't click that. I think that's really important. And then also make people realize that, their algorithms can go wrong. Things they push for you to watch every day. You watch in the morning, you watch at night, like those could be skewed and just to have some basic understanding. I think that would be really helpful.
Is AI really that complicated? Like, is it really like that, like super genius level stuff, or is this like a just a regular anyone can learn to code it? Is this like pretty normal?
I think everybody can really start from the beginning of it. The complexity of AI, I don't think is the coding part, is how it makes decisions. So how it comes to conclusions. Because right now, a lot of AI is still black box. So even the most ingenious, smart people who built this have no idea why AI came to this conclusion. So that's the really complex part. But I think anybody, you didn't really like high school, don't want to go to college, go, you can totally learn all the things how to build an AI on your own from all this information out there already existing. But it's not my ideal job per se because I think coding is so terrible. I hate coding.
Yeah, I often joke around if I go back in time, I'll learn the code and make my startup like move faster, but it's not for me, right?
You
Like
gotta think about the work you have to do,
it's
like
like,
constantly hours and
and
hours.
then like you have 10 pages of code, and you put a period instead of a comma somewhere, you got to find it,
So frustrating. Gosh, I know. Like,
and then your founder says, "Hey, change this to this." You're thinking to myself, dude, that's 10 hours of fucking work.
yeah, like I think it's one of the harder jobs because people don't think about like your back is all broken and it's all pain or you're in the dark and they work for hours and hours. You have to sleep next to it because when a computer runs codes, you have to wait for
Yeah,
hours.
you have to be in your zone, whatever.
It's terrible.
Here's one for you. I agree with this, right? A lot of people have this theory, like, you're a coder, you're like, you're white collar, making all this money, whatever.
Hmm.
But in reality, you're a trade, right? Because, you're doing the same thing over and over again. To me,
Kind of unpleasant.
you're a blue collar trade because you're doing the same thing over and over. You're coding, you're doing this, you're doing that, right? It's like you're a plumber, electrician, you're basically doing the same thing over again. But because they make so much money, people think they're white collar. But no, you're actually blue
Mm,
collar.
I don't think so because there are a lot. I mean, if you think about it, very, very beginner makes what 70K a year.
If you can get a job.
Yeah, I mean, sure. Like there are people who out there who do so-called blue collar jobs actually make a lot more,
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
right? I mean, truckers make 100, 150K.
Yeah.
Don't know, but like that's a lot more than just coding. And also, there are jobs sometimes coders I know just like look at construction workers saying, "That's nice. You get to go outside in the
Yeah.
sun,
All right.
have physical movement,
Yeah.
not just like one small thing, and you do this for like 12 hours."
Yep.
It's like, yeah. I mean, of course, there are some difficulty doing all kinds of different jobs.
Yeah.
Like every job sucks in
Yeah.
some way.
Some kind of way.
Yeah, but
Some kind of way.
but
Some kind of,
sometimes when you're coding, you're just like, man, this is a lot.
and then you like get no feedback really, Only feedback you get if your boss, this is wrong, you know.
Yeah, and
You're supposed to deploy this 2 days ago. What's going on, right?
it's terrible.
I'm paying you $125,000 a year. What do you mean you need sleep?
So I mean, yeah, I think it's really nice because it's a low entry barrier,
Yeah.
so anybody can do it,
Mhm.
and it's not that difficult to pick it up.
No, I mean anyone from 8 to 80 can learn it, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like grandmas can learn
Yeah.
how to do that, no problem.
I actually follow a guy on YouTube. I have no idea how I found him, but like, so like, I think I found out he was on another YouTube channel about computer coding, right? When I was trying to maybe do I want to learn this,
Hmm.
and this guy they wanted to, hey, I'm 75 years old. I started learning Python at 70 because I was bored,
Hmm.
and like here's all this fucking amazing shit online, right? That he does, right?
Yes.
It's fucking amazing, right? He says he just does for fun, right? He doesn't charge anything for anyone. Like, I retired. I think he retired as like a railroad mechanic, something like that.
Oh
Some
wow.
some
Okay.
random job,
Totally different.
Yeah, totally different. Like, yeah, like, hey, like my wife passed away a long time ago. My kids live somewhere else.
Mhm.
I was going batshit crazy. I don't want to hang out with the old home with all these other old ass people. I learned the code. Now, like, I talk to like young people all the time, right?
Yes,
I thought it was so fucking
exactly.
cool, right?
You have to learn.
This dude fucking 75 years old.
Now I'm retired or I have a midlife crisis. Well, if you want to learn French or Russian,
Yeah.
why don't learn Python
Yeah. Or piano, whatever.
or whatever
Yeah.
language you want to do? And
I just thought it was so cool.
some
But
fun.
like anyone 8 to 80 can learn it.
Yes, exactly.
There's no like physical limitations.
Yeah, that's the thing with technology. Like, you can actually do it. You just start doing it right now.
Mhm.
You want to learn coding, you'll learn it tomorrow.
Yeah. I'm a really big believer in that.
Well, not for a job, but
Maybe not. Yeah, man. that's done something, like, it's like, I mean, it's like 5 years ago,
Mhm.
it's like, man, there's $20,000 million jobs for developers.
Mhm.
Become a developer. Now it's like, yeah, you got to go work at a fast food restaurant.
Coder, everybody knows it's an option. But I feel like a lot of parts of the US or the world, but a lot of parts of the US, people still have no idea this is an easy option.
Mhm.
They always imagine, oh, it's something like super difficult or something, or they're just unfamiliar with it. But I really want to get those people into coding.
Or imagine, like, like, I said this from the podcast, like, imagine like you're like a 13-year-old kid,
Mhm.
South Seattle, kind of,
Yeah.
disadvantaged economic background, right? It's better to be there with access to all the stuff in Seattle, or like a 13-year-old kid living on a farm with 200 people in the town and, like, I don't know, Farmville, Arkansas, right? But no one knows tech, right?
Well, 13-year-old is a little earlier, but we're actually working on we're working on some sort of educational program for people in high school. So
Mhm.
that's probably the age that we're thinking
Okay.
about. So let's say a person living in Seattle, of course, you have a lot more convenience.